Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, Israel strikes Iran. The investigation into the Air India plane crash. And we say goodbye to Times Square. Breaking overnight. The Middle East on the verge of open war. Israel launching an attack on Iran, targeting its nuclear programs in what it calls preemptive strikes. This morning, the reaction from the White House as President Trump prepares to meet with his National Security Council. We are live in Washington and the Middle East.
Deadly plane crash investigation. Video showing the Air India jet before it disappears below the tree line shortly after takeoff, and then a fireball. One person on board seen walking away from the crash. The latest this morning.
Breaking overnight, the legal battle over the National Guard on the streets of Los Angeles, as California Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from a Homeland Security press conference.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers.
The fallout this morning.
Inside the Idaho College murders case. For the first time.
As soon as I stepped in the house, I was like, oh, something is so not right. Like you could feel it almost.
We're hearing from two of the victims' friends who were first on the scene.
Starbucks hiring spree, what's brewing at the coffee chain, and why the company is adding so many workers.
A change of tune coming to the Grammys, introducing a new category after Queen Bee's surprise win for Best Country Album.
Baby, bye, bye, bye. And we're saying bye-bye-bye to Times Square. Our final send-off before we move downtown. This morning, we're looking back at some of our favorite show-stopping moments. From the newsies who took over our control room to our good friend Alicia Keys here in Times Square live as we say, Good morning, America.
Live from Times Square, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
Okay, forgive us in advance. We may be getting a little emotional this morning. It is our last Friday, last day ever here in Times Square. We're moving downtown on Monday, and Sam Champion is there.
Oh, boy. Oh, George. Hi. George, forget the 100 really working people. I'm stunting, and I'm exhausting. So I'm sweeping up the zone right here. Hey, let me show you the new space. Sorry, cameraman Russ is trying to keep me in. You're going to be walking into Studio C. Let me move this so you can see the C in Studio C here. And then follow me, because this is the new home. Whoa, I knew it. I knew I was going to trip. Of Good Morning America. We kept this from the old green room. Remember this? That piece? Yeah. That's gorgeous. And then you'll walk through this door and you'll go into no, Russ. That has to wait till Monday. So you walk right into the studio. The new set is sitting right there. Cheers.
Cheers to you, Sam.
Yeah, thank you.
That was literally a sneak peek.
I know, very sneaky.
Yeah, we're expecting a little bit more than that, but all right, we appreciate that, Sam. We're also gonna be looking back at some of the great Broadway performances that we've had here in Times Square, and boy, we've had a lot of them. Yeah,
we are definitely looking forward to that, all of that, and Alicia Keys is going to be here in the cast of Hell's Kitchen, as you see. But first, as always, we do this every morning. We're going to start with the news. And we begin with the breaking news overnight. Israel launching what it calls a preemptive strike attack on nuclear targets in Iran. The strike came in waves across the country, including explosions heard in Tehran. Now Israel is under a state of emergency, bracing for retaliation from Iran. Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv with the latest for us. Good morning, Marcus.
Well, Robin, good morning. Israeli officials say the first phase of this operation got underway overnight, and it involved at least 5 waves of airstrikes in just a few hours. And as I speak to you right now, another wave is happening. And this morning we are seeing video of the damage in Iran as fears grow about the potential for a wider regional war.
Overnight, Israel launching Operation Rising Lion, several waves of preemptive strikes against Iran aimed at crippling its nuclear program. Video circulating online showing explosions lighting up the night sky in Tehran. Multiple waves hitting not just Iran's nuclear sites, but targeting military leadership and their top scientists, taking aim at the Iranian regime. Israel saying Iran had enough material to produce up to 15 nuclear bombs within days. The operation, a joint effort between the IDF and Mossad, seen as a dramatic escalation and a bigger, more targeted plan than many expected. Several residential buildings on fire in Iran's capital. Iran confirming overnight at least 2 of their military leaders were killed, including the commander of the Revolutionary Guard, and several nuclear scientists also reportedly killed in the strikes. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying Israel had no choice but to act, calling Iran's nuclear program, quote, a clear and present danger.
This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat.
Iran launching more than 100 drones towards Israel, the IDF saying it has intercepted those drones before reaching Israeli airspace. Israel's defense minister declaring a state of emergency, calling up tens of thousands of troops. Concerns now that the operation overnight could increase chances of all-out war between the countries and expand into a regional conflict.
Iran's supreme leader has said Israel will face, quote, severe punishment for these airstrikes, and people across the Middle East remain on high alert this morning as they wait to see how Iran or its proxies retaliate. George.
Okay, Marcus, thanks. Let's get more on this now from our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz. Martha, let me begin with you. Clearly, so much advanced preparation here by the Israelis.
Exactly, George. An Israeli security source tells ABC this morning that Mossad, which is Israel's covert intelligence agency, had entered Iran long before last night's attack and set up a secret drone base. And when the attack began last night, those explosive drones were remotely activated to target Iranian surface-to-surface missile launchers at a military base near Tehran. That has echoes of Ukraine's extraordinary drone attacks inside Russia. Israel and the U.S. now bracing for reaction. I was in Tehran in 2020, just days after the U.S. killed IRGC leader Qasem Soleimani in a drone strike. There were hundreds of thousands of Iranians who swarmed the streets in protest. And of course, Iran then launched missile attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq, which is the fear here as well, even though the U.S. did not take part in last night's attack. George.
Okay, Martha, thanks.
All right, George, let's go now to the response from the White House with Mary Bruce. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Michael. Well, this is exactly what President Trump had been hoping to avoid for weeks. He's been trying to strike a nuclear deal with Iran and avoid a broader conflict. In fact, just moments before these strikes overnight, the president had taken to social media calling for a diplomatic resolution. He had warned Netanyahu that an attack like this would be inappropriate and said it would derail talks, that it would, quote, blow it. Now, just moments ago, the president, speaking with our John Carl, said of the attacks that he thinks it's been excellent. He said we gave them a chance and they didn't take it. They got hit hard, very hard. They got hit about as hard as you're going to get hit. And there's more to come, a lot more. And when asked if the U.S. participated in the attack in any way, the president interestingly said, I don't want to comment on that. That is not what Marco Rubio said last night, the Secretary of State coming out very quickly and making it clear that the U.S. was not involved, saying flatly, let me be clear, Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel because, of course, Iran has warned that it will retaliate against the U.S. Now, the president this morning is set to meet with his National Security Council in the Situation Room. And this morning, he still seems to be holding out hope that somehow these nuclear talks can be salvaged, posting just a short while ago, urging Tehran to come to the table, saying Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left, adding just do it before it is too late. George?
And Martha, let me go back to you. The president says there's more to come. The big question now, can this war be contained?
We just don't know, George. Iran is fully capable of hitting U.S. facilities in the region. We have 40,000 troops scattered throughout the Mideast, embassy personnel, and thousands of American citizens, which is why the U.S. is standing up a task force in case rapid evacuation is necessary, George.
Martha Raddatz, thanks very much. Robin?
Okay, George, now to the investigation into that deadly plane crash in India. The official death toll now stands at 246. 241 on the Air India jet, 5 on the ground. And from the tragedy comes a story of survival. One passenger right there made it out of the wreckage alive. Chief International Correspondent James Longman has the latest from Mumbai. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. The mood here is stunned disbelief. How could such a modern plane essentially just fall out of the sky? The NTSB is on their way here to India to help the Civil Aviation Authority with its investigation. And this as one man survived. An urgent investigation is underway this morning to determine how an Air India jet carrying 230 passengers and 12 crew crashed just after takeoff, killing everyone but one on board. Stunning video filmed from a nearby building shows the jet ascend briefly before disappearing below the tree line, and then an enormous fireball. The plane took off just after 1:30 Thursday afternoon and was headed for London's Gatwick Airport. Moments later, the aircraft plummeted to the ground near the Ahmedabad airport. Smoke from the tragedy seen for miles. Firefighters hosing down the smouldering wreckage. Part of the plane seen hanging out of the medical college it crashed into. Here you can see the back tyre sticking out of a building and a desperate rush to find survivors.
I thought, I don't know, maybe he's joking or what.
Akash Vatsa was on the same plane a flight earlier from Delhi to Ahmedabad.
It's a Dreamliner 787.
Sharing this footage from inside the aircraft.
I was in so much of shock. My father, my friend, they were also like traumatized.
Through the tragedy, miraculously, a sole survivor, seated in 11A, an emergency row seat. Astonishingly, he's seen here walking away from the crash. Vishwash Kumar Ramesh remains hospitalized. His family, meanwhile, beyond grateful.
When he was on the runway, my dad called him and Vishwa said, "Oh, we're going to take off soon." And then literally like 2 minutes later, he video called my dad. As he crashed, he said, "Oh, plane's crashed." All of that. I don't know where my brother is. I don't see any other passengers. I don't know how I'm alive, how I exited the plane.
Although Ramesh was seated in that emergency row seat, experts say there's no safest seat on passenger planes. This is the first fatal crash involving a Boeing Dreamliner since it entered service in 2011. Aviation experts raising concerns about the engines after seeing the nose of the plane pointed up in the moments before disaster, pointing to an issue of thrust.
These jets are built to be very carefully designed to not have something happen to the left engine if it happens to the right and vice versa. There's never just one cause, but this is going to be critical.
Boeing has told ABC News they're ready to support the investigation. It's crucial information from the black box that will shed light on how this could have happened. Well, Ahmedabad Airport has now reopened. It could take months or years to establish what really happened here. The United States has vowed to help any way it can. Guys.
Okay, James, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to more breaking news overnight. It's in California. Federal appeals court temporarily blocked a judge's order requiring the Trump administration to return control of the California National Guard to Governor Newsom. This comes after California Senator Alex Padilla, you see it right there, was wrestled to the ground and handcuffed by federal agents at an immigration news conference with the Homeland Security Secretary. Matt Rivers is in Los Angeles with the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. National Guardsmen still protecting the federal building behind me here in downtown Los Angeles after a quiet night. But the fight over who will be commanding the thousands of National Guardsmen in the rest of the city, the president or the governor, just beginning to heat up.
Overnight, a U.S. district judge ruling President Trump illegally deployed 4,000 California National Guard troops in Los Angeles. In a scathing opinion, Judge Charles Breyer saying the protests fall far short of the legal requirements of a rebellion to justify a federal deployment. The judge ordering Trump to return command of the Guardsmen to Governor Gavin Newsom by noon today, saying the citizens of Los Angeles face a greater harm from the continued unlawful militarization of their city.
Clearly, there's no invasion, there's no rebellion. It's absurd.
But then just a few hours later, a federal appeals court putting that order on hold after a late-night appeal from the Trump administration, ruling Trump can keep the California National Guard deployed for now.
Hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary.
This coming after growing fallout from California Senator Alex Padilla's forced removal from a DHS press conference in Los Angeles. We were in the room when the senator began interrupting Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's opening remarks. Padilla hoping to press her about ICE arrests of people without criminal records.
I have questions for the secretary because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
Federal agents quickly grabbing Padilla, shoving him away and forcing him out of the room. agents then forcing the senator to the ground and putting him in handcuffs before releasing him. Secretary Noem later on said she didn't know who the senator was. Padilla has been a U.S. senator since 2021, and she is conducting raids in the state where he serves. The senator appearing shaken before the cameras.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing to farm workers, to cooks, to day laborers.
Noem, surrounded by protection, calling Padilla's actions inappropriate.
I think everybody in America would agree that that wasn't appropriate. That if you wanted to have a civil discussion, especially as a leader, a public official, that you would reach out and try to have a conversation.
Overnight, the senator taking to social media.
If they're willing to do that to me, a United States senator, with a question, doing my job on behalf of the people of California and our country, what are they doing to a lot of the folks that are out there when the cameras are not on?
Now, that federal appeals court will have a hearing Tuesday to determine whether President Trump remains in charge of these troops or whether that command is transferred back to California Governor Gavin Newsom. But until that hearing concludes, President Trump in charge, guys.
Yeah, that's coming next week. Okay, Matt, thanks very much.
And we're going to turn now to a miracle shot on day one of the U.S. Open. I thought it was George, but no, it's not. Lara, you're here with that. What you got?
Yeah, I have a rare sighting, everybody, of the rare albatross. Yes. It was at the U.S. Open, the 2025 U.S. Open. It's happening right now at the Oakmont Country Club in Pennsylvania. Apparently, according to my husband, an extremely tough course. So to see an albatross, not a bird, but this extremely rare shot, also known as a double eagle or 3 under par, which means it only took 2 strokes on a par 5 hole. This amazing show of skill coming to us from 2018 Masters champion Patrick Reed, sinking it in his second shot from 286 yards out on that par 5. Unbelievable. Reed was stunned. In fact, he wasn't sure if he had made it, but
see that far.
Thankfully the crowd let him know. And look at him, he goes, "Is it in?" The applause on the green gave him his answer. Guys, statistically, a shot like that is actually more rare than a hole-in-one. Only a few hundred albatrosses are made per year around the world compared to more than 30,000 holes-in-one. That shot, only the 4th albatross recorded in U.S. Open history since they started keeping records some 4 decades ago.
I'm going to say 286 yards.
It's unbelievable. The rare albatross has been spotted.
Wow. What do you hit from 286 yards out, George?
4 clubs.
Well done, my friend. Try the meatloaf, everybody.
I love the honesty, George. I love the honesty. Oh, boy. All right, coming up.
New details in the Idaho College murders case. 2 of the victims' friends who were first on the scene break their silence in a new docuseries. We have the exclusive.
And the big change coming to the Grammys after Beyonce's win for Best Country Album.
Stay there. We'll be right back.
Keep on falling.
You know, those are the first notes Alicia Keys sang here on GMA back in 2001. Just as her first album, Songs in A Minor. Woo! Hit #1.
Great album.
We are so glad that Alicia Keys is here with us this morning as we say goodbye to Times Square and the cast of Hell's Kitchen, her Broadway hit. All of us are having so much fun. We're feeling sentimental because it's our final show here in Times Square. Even our crew is getting in on it. They're outside, as they always are. That's Henry and Justin from our crew, okay? As they are most mornings outside, but even they're getting in on the act. But it's nice that folks are here to say goodbye to us here in Times Square.
Alicia Keys has stopped traffic in Times Square for us so many times.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to hearing her. First new at 7:30, a JetBlue flight veered off the runway at Logan Airport in Boston onto the grass after landing from Chicago. In a recording from the cockpit, the pilot said the plane had no steering. Passengers were evacuated, no injuries were reported. The incident is under investigation. Closing arguments set for today in the murder retrial of Karen Reed, the Massachusetts woman accused of running over her Boston police officer boyfriend and leaving him to die in the snow. Her first trial ended in a hung jury.
Starbucks is launching a major hiring blitz, planning to add up to 85,000 jobs across 17,000 U.S. locations. Cost cutting has reduced staff at Starbucks stores over the past 5 years, lengthening wait times and leading to a drop in sales. And the Stanley Cup Final is all tied up for the third time in 4 games. It took overtime. Game 1 hero Leon Draisaitl did it again for the Oilers, scoring to beat the Florida Panthers and send the fans in Edmonton into a frenzy. Florida was up 3-0 in that game. I actually watched it last night. Well, you know, Game 5 is Saturday night. Back in Edmonton, and you know that's going to be rocking.
You're not going to mention who was there at the game? You're not going to mention who they kept showing?
No, I want to give them privacy.
Okay, all right.
They went to the game to watch hockey.
All right.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce didn't go there for the cameras. Come on, you know better.
To the Idaho College murders case, key witnesses are speaking publicly for the first time. It's all part of a new docuseries. Kana Whitworth has the story. Good morning, Kana.
Yeah, George, good morning. The docuseries is called One Night in Idaho, The College Murders, and it reveals exactly what happened the morning after the murders, the panic, fear, and chaos of uncovering the most brutal crime that Moscow had ever seen and how those closest to the victims learned of the tragedy.
This morning, an exclusive first look at a new docuseries revealing what happened the morning after 4 University of Idaho students were murdered in an off-campus home.
Nobody could have imagined what was about to happen.
The friends, who were first on scene telling their story in Prime Video's One Night in Idaho, The College Murders.
We were a big group of friends. Why would you target those 4?
Emily Alott, her boyfriend Hunter Johnson, and roommate Josie Louderin lived just down the street from the King Road house. And on that November morning, they say one of the surviving roommates called, saying she was scared, asking them to come over.
When Dylan had called, I didn't think it was urgent. So I started walking to Xana's house, and when we got there, Dylan and Bethany had exited the house.
Seeing her friends sitting in the driveway, Emily knew right away something was wrong.
They frightened, just kind of like just hands on their mouth, like, I don't know what's going on type thing.
Hunter immediately went to investigate.
When I was going up the stairs, Hunter Johnson was already in the house. We were just a bit behind.
As soon as I stepped in the house, I was like, oh, something is so not right. Like, you could feel it almost.
They didn't know it yet, but their very best friends, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Madison Mogan, had all been murdered. Hunter was the first to realize the tragedy, and he's heard on the 911 call rushing everyone outside. Ethan was the eldest of triplets, and his siblings, Hunter and Maisie, were also attending the University of Idaho. They were called to the home amid the panic. But it would be hours before they would all learn what really happened to their friends, and now they were trying to understand the worst homicide the small town of Moscow, Idaho, had ever seen.
There's this person out there who had just murdered our brother, and he's still out there somewhere.
Now, Ethan's parents and siblings featured in that series, and later this month we'll have a chance to speak with them along with Hunter and Emily. Maddie's parents were also interviewed for the series. One Night in Idaho, The College Murders, premieres July 11th on Prime Video, and you guys, that is exactly 1 month before this trial is set to start, guys.
We know that you've been on this from the very beginning. Kana, thank you so much. Now, with the Grammys changing their tune when it comes to country music, Lara's here with the announcement about music's biggest night. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, this is kind of a big deal. That announcement is that the Grammys will split the big award for Best Country Album into 2 separate awards. This follows a lot of discussion and some uproar in recent years about the changing sound of country music. Take a look.
And the Grammy goes to...
This morning, big changes coming to music's biggest night.
Cowboy Carter.
The Recording Academy announcing 2 new categories ahead of next year's Grammy Awards, splitting their Best Country Album recognition into Best Traditional Country Album and Best Contemporary Country Album. The Recording Academy CEO saying, "We're creating more space for all the diverse artists who are shaping the future of country music."
Best Country Album category is now going to be called Best Contemporary Country Album. And it is the entire spectrum of commercial mainstream country music. Traditional country album will be taking albums that are currently competing in Americana, they're competing in folk, because there hasn't really been a home for them.
Wow, I really was not expecting this.
The change coming just 1 year after Beyonce won both Best Country Album and Album of the Year for her genre-bending Cowboy Carter.
16 carriages driving away.
The project giving Queen Bee her 8th #1 album on Billboard's 200 and galloping to #1 on the top country albums as well, making her the first black woman to do so. But she's not the only artist redefining the country genre. Lil Nas X teaming up with Billy Ray Cyrus in their country rap song Old Town Road, which was removed from Billboard's Hot Country charts back in 2019. And Post Malone going from hip-hop songs like Congratulations into the country space with songs like I Had Some Help.
The Grammys are sometimes a little light in recognizing country. Country often doesn't make the big four categories, and anything they can do to kind of put a spotlight on this bedrock genre, I think is a good thing.
So the other big announcement for the Grammy Awards, there will be another new category, the long-awaited Best Album Cover category. The changes go into effect next year, and oh, by the way, ABC will be getting the Grammy Awards in 2027. We cannot wait for that, guys.
So, but Beyonce won 2 Grammy, but she wasn't nominated for CMA.
Correct.
Okay. The changing sound or the changing color of country music? I don't know which one to believe.
And Sam is back with a special Father's Day play of the day.
And you know what? You're never too old to be a dad, George. I mean, I'm not looking at you saying that. What I mean is looking at you saying that. All weekend long, it's all about fathers. So we thought it was the perfect time to introduce you to Goliath, a Galapagos turtle in Zoo, Miami. Now, not only is he 134, on Sunday 135, he just became a dad for the very first time.
him.
I know, congratulations. Now, you can see the egg right there and the hatchling gradually emerging. The zoo says the baby tortoise is doing great, and Zoo Miami is confirming, right, with Guinness World Records that Goliath is officially the oldest first-time father for any animal in recorded history. Ron McGill worked at Zoo when Goliath arrived back in 1981. Here's Ron talking about his longtime bud.
He is one of the easiest going, most mellow Galapagos tortoises I've ever worked with. There's something special about Goliath. First of all, he's very attractive to people. He'll come walking right up to you. And at over 500 pounds, you got to be very careful that he doesn't step on you.
Good for you, Goliath.
Aren't they by definition easygoing?
Yeah. He's a tortoise. The whole tortoise and the hair thing. Yeah.
We don't have a name for the hatchlings, but I'm going to stop right there because now I'm in baby animal territory, and that's Lara's Bean.
Thank you very much for respecting boundaries. I don't have a name, but we'll get on it. It's a celebration.
Because we are celebrating.
Yes, we sure
Last
are.
Dance, celebrating some of our favorite Broadway takeovers as we say goodbye to our Times Square studios. We've had some great performances over the years, right out the side of Military Island.
Hey mama, hey mama.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Breaking overnight. The Middle East on the verge of open war. Israel launches an attack on Iran, targeting its nuclear programs in what it calls preemptive strikes. We're live in the Middle East.
It's the new Barbara Walters documentary.
Okay, let's go.
A look at her legacy and what she was like behind the scenes as we hit the premiere's red carpet and talk to some of the people who knew her best.
And a big day at GMA, just like Mario said.
Give my regards to Broadway. So long, suckers, we're moving downtown.
GMA is headed downtown. Our new neighbors are rolling out the welcome mat.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood.
In the circle of life.
And we're having one big Broadway-sized goodbye, celebrating Broadway on GMA. Alicia Keys is here live, and a GMA surprise so top secret that not even the staff knows what we're about to do. But first, look who's saying
Good morning, America.
Live from Times Square, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
It's the circle of life, y'all. Good morning, America. It's a big morning for us here at GMA as we say goodbye to our Times Square studio. Alicia Keys is going to help us do that. She has been such a great friend over the years, and she has performed so many times since the beginning of her career. And look there, she brought something special, the cast from her Grammy and Tony-winning musical Hell's Kitchen.
Alicia and the cast will be back, and they're going to perform some music from that show. That is coming up.
But first, let's take a look at the top stories breaking at 8, starting with Israel and Iran. We're going to go back to Marcus Moore in Tel Aviv with the latest. Good morning again, Marcus.
Oh, Michael, good morning. It was a tense night as air raid sirens sounded while many people were sleeping here in Tel Aviv and across Israel. It came after Israel launched that major strike on Iran's nuclear facilities and assassinated some of the country's top leaders.
Overnight, Israel launching Operation Rising Lion, several waves of preemptive strikes against Iran aimed at crippling its nuclear program. Video circulating online showing explosions lighting up the night sky in Tehran. Multiple waves hitting not just Iran's nuclear sites, but targeting military leadership and their top scientists, taking aim at the Iranian regime. The operation, a joint effort between the IDF and Mossad, seen as a dramatic escalation and a bigger, more targeted plan than many expected. Iran confirming overnight at least 2 of their military leaders were killed, including the commander of the Revolutionary Guard, and several nuclear scientists also reportedly killed in the strikes. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying Israel had no choice but to act, calling Iran's nuclear program, quote, a clear and present danger.
This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat.
Iran launching more than 100 drones towards Israel, the IDF saying it has intercepted those drones before reaching Israeli airspace.
Everyone here in Israel and across the Middle East on high alert, waiting for retaliation from Iran. The country's supreme leader said that Israel will face, quote, severe punishment for these airstrikes. And George, there's every sense that this is far from over.
No question about it. Okay, Marcus, thanks very much. Let's get more now from our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl, who just spoke with the president.
Yeah, I called him to ask basically just simply his reaction to this attack. You know, yesterday he seemed to be suggesting that he was concerned that an Israeli attack would, he said, blow it in terms of the peace negotiations, the nuclear negotiations that his administration is having with Iran. This morning, he sounded all in on this Israeli attack. Let me read you exactly what he said, George. He said, I think it's been excellent. We gave them a chance and they didn't take it. They got hit hard, very hard. And then this, they got hit about as hard as they're going to get hit, and there's going to be more. There's more to come, a lot more. A lot more to come, he says.
Overnight, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the United States was not involved in the attack. It's not what the president said.
Yeah, I asked him directly that, and I wanted to get at the question of going forward, would we be involved? But I started by asking him, did we have any involvement at all in this attack? And he said, I don't want to comment on that.
And Israeli officials have said the United States did give the green light.
It's hard to imagine that the Israelis wouldn't have at least sought that green light from the United States.
The president has still been pushing these negotiations with Iran. They're supposed to take place Sunday in Oman, but Iran says they're not going.
Yeah, Steve Witkoff scheduled to be in Oman with his Iranian counterparts. Obviously, that's blown up, but he is still insisting that the solution here is a diplomatic one. He was on Truth Social earlier this morning saying Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction.
Hard to see how that's going to happen in the short term.
Certainly not in the next, certainly not in the short term.
John Carl, thanks very much.
All right, gentlemen, thank you both so much. We're going to turn now to Game 4 of the NBA Finals. It tips off tonight. Pacers at home looking to take a commanding lead in the series. Will is back from Indy, has a preview for us.
Hello, I couldn't miss the final day in the studio here. It's nice to see you all, and it's nice to be talking a little basketball here. And it is safe to say that tonight is the biggest game of the NBA season. The Pacers are up 2-1 in the series, and there's a long way to go, but if they win 2 out of the next 4 games, this would be, by the odds, the biggest upset in NBA Finals history. The Pacers seem to enjoy being the underdogs. They've won 14 games and lost just 5 in these playoffs, and they were underdogs in many of those games, including in each of the first 3 of these finals. In Game 1, they had that comeback magic, their 5th comeback from 15 or more points down in these playoffs. That last-second shot from Tyrese Halliburton shocking the Thunder. Oklahoma City righting the ship in Game 2 to tie the series. But on Wednesday night in Game 3, the Pacers won their first home finals game in 25 years. And if they can win tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ABC, they'll be up 3-1 in the series. And teams that go up 3-1 in the NBA playoffs for one last time win the series 95.6% of the time. And only once in the finals has a team come back from 3-1 down to go on to win. So if the Thunder and league MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander want to finish the season as the best team as they have been all year, winning Game 4 on the road is pretty close to a must. And if the Pacers are to win their first NBA championship in franchise history, winning Game 4 tonight would go a long way for them.
Well, whoever wins, it'll be their first championship in
franchise history. Yeah, franchise history. If you kept the Sonics and all that.
But that's a little different. All right, Will, thank you so much for that. Going to be a great game tonight. And coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, it is our last day in Times Square. And it's time to check out our new neighborhood. We're bringing you on a tour downtown.
And we're going to look back at some of the terrific Broadway performances we've had here on GMA. Taking over the studio, even the control room at times with the newsies.
And Larry and Sam are outside.
Oh, this is so beautiful. We've got the cast of Hell's Kitchen is here. Christopher Jackson's going to perform, going to sing. Chris, I can't wait for this.
Cannot wait for that. And we will chat with Alicia Keys. That's coming up right here on Good Morning America, live in Times Square.
Nothing at all if it ain't you, baby. If I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings and some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never know someone when I'm loving you.
Back to GMA. We're outside. We gotta say, it feels good out here. And we call this Military Island. So many big moments have happened out here for Broadway, and a very memorable Alicia Keys concert happened out here as well. Well, she's joining us shortly, but first, we're about to head downtown to a new neighborhood, and Becky Worley, Ginger, Will, and more checked it out for us. Take a look.
It's our brand new home. The Walt Disney Company's state-of-the-art New York City headquarters, spanning an entire block of downtown Manhattan.
We're right in the middle of Hudson Square, so there's Tribeca and Soho and the Hudson River right over there. Let's go meet the neighbors. We're new to the neighborhood, so trying to get the vibe here, vibe check. We're moving our studios in right down at Hudson Square.
Oh, that's fun.
How would you describe this neighborhood?
Feels like a village within a city, which is so nice.
Okay, I'm getting a sweet tooth. Time for breakfast at the birthplace of the Cronut, Dominique Ansell's Bakery. Cronut, part croissant, part donut. Dominique himself giving me a taste test.
Wow.
Hey, you might need this.
Oh, I need that.
So you cannot come here to a bakery without doing shots with me.
What?
That's
It's like early morning.
Yeah, but it's a cookie shot.
Cookies and milk. Cheers.
Okay, I need to work off these calories. And to do that,
I have never seen New York like this.
Hudson River Park is just a few blocks from the office, offering kayaks free of charge. And you never know who you'll find out here.
Will? What are you doing here?
I'm just figuring out my new commute to the studio.
In your suit, in a kayak.
I'm running late already. Gotta get to work.
News guys. Always ready to go.
The kayaks are just one of a boatload of activities brought together at Hudson River Park. From beach volleyball to mini golf.
We are 4 miles of Manhattan's west side. People know their neighborhood piers. You might know the Tribeca piers, you might know the Chelsea piers. The concept that it is all one park is not something that people are totally aware of.
Also here,
Circus Academy, New York.
Hey, Becky!
Gio, what are you doing here?
I'm just on my lunch break. Come on up.
That gull, he'll do anything for an upper body workout.
it's been nice knowing you.
It's
looks like we're trapezing off of a skyscraper. And we could just do this on our lunch hour.
Yeah.
Maybe it's smart to have lunch first. You got this, Gio.
Ready, baby.
Woo! Go, Gio! Woo! Woo! He's good. Woo! You got me? Woo! Ah! Good morning, America! Woo!
My heart is still racing. Feel my heart.
Oh my God!
Okay, now that I've worked up a serious appetite, I head to lunch at this cozy place, Square Diner.
I heard you might be a regular here, but wow.
We really are in my neighborhood, and I'm really happy because the commute's going to be great.
That's going to be awesome for you.
Is that good?
While I continue to gorge myself, Ginger is figuring out where to get a workout down here.
Oh, I got you, Becky. You take a breather. I'm about to get a little personal training sesh here at nearby J-Train.
Joe Trainer Masonette is the president and owner of J-Train Wellness,
And up.
which takes a whole-body approach to fitness and has a celeb client list so elite, we've been sworn to secrecy. Shh.
We have massage, acupuncture, physical therapy. You ready to go?
Yes, bring it on.
Pass the harder, more.
Breathe in and out.
Ooh, the sweat is real.
Drips. Probably makeup drips, too. Oh, my
Almost
goodness.
there, and relax. Woo!
Okay, Becky, I think that's good for me. Now I need a break. Let's go back to you.
Thanks, Ginger. Okay, time for an after-dinner drink. So I hit up one of the oldest bars in the city, Ear Inn. It was built around 1817. And back then, Lower Manhattan wasn't even built up yet, so the Hudson River came right up to the door.
First place when you got off the ship was right here.
So originally the sign just said bar.
Bar is correct.
But you decided bar in.
Ear in.
Ear in. Okay. Okay, fellas, to the neighborhood.
To the neighborhood.
Cheers.
New neighbors, a new home, and a whole new beginning.
Good morning, America. Good morning, America. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. Good morning, America.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
We want to officially welcome one of our favorite guests and someone who's been a part of our family since the beginning of her career on our last morning here in Times Square. The place called GMA has called, you called it home as well.
It is my home.
Please welcome Alicia Keys! I'm sorry, 17-time Grammy Award winning Alicia Keys! It's so good to see you. Oh, look at Cass back there.
Look at these gorgeous folks. They're so fire. Fire, Hell's Kitchen.
And we are going to talk, because it's right around the corner.
It is. Right there at the Schubert.
Yeah, that's it, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But first, come on now. You have been on this program so many times, so many memorable
Since the beginning. Since the beginning of ever I sang a song.
In Harlem, we went down there.
We were in Harlem.
Yeah, but what stands out to you the most of all your appearances here?
I just remember, I love the electricity of the city. Obviously, this is my hometown. I grew up right down the street in Hell's Kitchen, which is what the show is all about. And I remember always just feeling this electricity, this energy, this power, and I love it. So I always feel welcomed and loved. That's what I remember. And I remember people climbing up on the thingies and we're going crazy out here. Here we are! Love you back.
You have stopped traffic many a time here.
Lots of traffic.
We've got the cast of Hell's Kitchen here with us as well. What a run you all have had. And I know it's important for you to tell this story.
It really is. It's so important to tell the story of Hell's Kitchen. Like I said, growing up right here in the heart of Hell's Kitchen, there's nothing like going to see the show Hell's Kitchen, the music of Hell's Kitchen, and walking out and you're in Hell's Kitchen. There's no other show that does that for you. And I was able to the experiences I had growing up in New York, being raised by my community, the mentors in my life really gave me the opportunity to find my dreams. And this story, when you leave this show, you feel like everything is possible. You feel like you can do anything. And that's what it's so important to feel that and find that. And you see yourself in this show. So this story is a must-see.
And it took you 13 years of your life to bring this story to the stage. But now you're sharing it in the book.
Yes, and now I'm so excited, a beautiful table book. It's called Hell's Kitchen Behind the Dream. And it really talks about
how the collaborators, the beautiful collaborators, Michael Greif, the director, Chris Diaz, the writer, Camille Brown, the choreographer, all the pieces and all the beautiful artists who've been a part of this. You get to see the whole process, and it's available for pre-order right now. So you get it first.
I love your passion when you talk about this. Your eyes light up. I just wonder, what would a young Alicia think about all this? The fact that her story is being told.
You know, it's really our story, and it is a New York story. It celebrates this city. And no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you're going to find yourself within it. My mother moved from Toledo, Ohio, to become an actor in this crazy big city. She had not come here. If she hadn't come here, I wouldn't be here. And so little Alicia, young Alicia, first of all, she'd be so thrilled and in disbelief. I'm personally still in disbelief. And she would also feel like thrilled. You know, this show is for all ages, all generations. My 10-year-old son comes all the way up to a 70-year-old grandparent. This is a multi-generational story, and what I would feel as a young woman watching that story, I would feel pride. I would feel like this is me, you know? So she would love it. Yeah. And it's like got all the cool, and it's got all the good music, and it's got all the great sound, and the actors and the artists are crazy. And the dancing is through the roof. You can't believe it. Camille Brown smashed this. It's unbelievable, really, really. So it's exciting.
I know, because Christopher Jackson has now. Emmy Award-winning Christopher Jackson has joined this fabulous cast.
Welcome.
What, you're like 6 shows in?
Yeah.
I think something like that?
I'm still in my preview week.
Oh, yeah. So how's it been for you? I mean, the music, how? You know, because I don't know how you were able to choose the songs that you were able to do.
Right. You know, the songs are a very big storyteller in this show. I think it's one of my favorite things. Anyone who's seen it has said, first of all, I've never heard the songs like this before, because they are reimagined and they are created to tell the story. They aren't dropped in there because it's a song. Right. They are created to usher along the story. And so I think you hear things in ways you never have. They performed Fallin' today as one of the little bumpers for you guys, and if you listen to Fallin', has a complete different arrangement, and it's because we're bringing the mother and the father, Chris, together, and Jessica, and when we do If I Ain't Got You, it's because it's the story of the father and the daughter and the complexity of the relationship. So you really get the music in a way you've never heard before. And but I just took your question.
No, you didn't. You said the right part.
So what's your favorite part of it?
We heard some of the rehearsals, and we can't wait. The music, when you have such a great catalog and such a powerful storytelling element, it's easy to drop these songs in, and they make sense to the characters that you're trying to bring to life. And so,
fun to be back on Broadway.
Absolutely.
Woo!
This is home.
This is home. Everybody see Chris at the Grammys, the Hamilton cast,
the Tonys,
the Tonys. Sorry, yeah, you were so fantastic. It was great to see you.
It was a great night.
And so glad that you're now part of Hell's Kitchen, baby.
It's home. 8 shows a week. Let's go.
I also wrote my first musical theater songs because there are new songs written specifically for this show as well. And that has been a joy. It's like I'm stretching in ways I've never stretched before as the lead producer of the show, as well as the creator and the songwriter. It's so beautiful. But the cast, the team, Adam Blackstone, Tom Kitt, there's so many incredible people a part of this. You need your community, and that's what the show shows. And we couldn't have done this without each other.
And if anybody wants to see your story, go get that book. It's out for pre-orders right now. I got you.
Thank you. You did good. All right, I'll catch you later.
Well, we cannot wait, Christopher and the cast, to hear you. And you are going to hear it coming up, because coming up, the cast of Hell's Kitchen performs LIVE live right here in Times Square. Come on back.
Come
Good Morning America with the cast of Hell's Kitchen, including the one and only Alicia Keys. And as we've been mentioning, we are getting ready for our last bow, if you will, here in Times Square. And we will take our act on the road down to our new studio. But before we do, we want to look back at some of the show-stopping Broadway performances that we have enjoyed right here, from Hamilton to Hair and so many more. Take a look.
Give my regards to Broadway. So long, suckers, we're moving downtown.
It's GMA on the Great White Way.
No one has ever seen it like this.
Hey mama, take my hand. First, let's make a pit stop with Charlie and Diane. I'm bringing you love, it's true, so get ready.
So good to be here. Good morning, America.
One short day to have a lifetime of fun.
Our Times Square studio neighbors showcasing their immense talent to you.
We're rolling on the rim.
I was moving at a groove. I was a real Mr. Feeling.
Way down, way down under the ground.
With Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I'm running to make you home, and homes with Vanessa's running away from
Joey Fatone.
Every little thing I do, everything's enough for you. You don't want to lose it again.
Ricky Martin.
You'll despair if they hate you. You'll be drained of all energy.
Stop whatever you are doing right now.
And Tony winner, Nicole Scherzinger. From Central Park.
History is happening in Manhattan, and we just happen to be in the greatest city in the world.
To theater takeovers.
It is one of the biggest hits on Broadway this season.
And while the curtain closes on our studio in Times Square, Broadway will always be our home.
Woo! We gotta say, there's so many incredible performances. Thank you for bringing that to us, Lara. Alicia Keys, we could not think of a better way to say goodbye here to Times Square. I'm telling you, it is the Hell's Kitchen. They've won Tonys, they've won Grammys. It's a musical that's right around the corner here at Schubert Theater, and the cast is about to perform. We're going to let you do the honors.
Can I do it?
Yes.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, our mind-blowing cast is about to perform a mashup of two songs, Girl on Fire, where Allie finds her flame, and No One, which is retold as a beautiful mother-daughter love story. This is going to hit you hard. Here they are, the cast of Broadway's Hell's Kitchen!
Well done, you're hired.
She's just a girl and she's on fire, hotter than a fantasy, lonely like a highway. She's living in a world and it's on fire, filled with catastrophe, but she knows she can fly away. Oh, she's got both feet on the ground and she's burning it down. Oh, you can be sure that it will only get better. You and me together through the days and nights. I don't worry, 'cause everything's gonna be alright. And people keep talking, they can say what they like, but all I know is everything's gonna be alright. 'Cause no one can get in the way of what I'm feeling. And no one can get in the way of what I feel for you. Oh, 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 get in the way of what I feel for you.
Now with Barbara Walters' Tell Me Everything. The documentary made its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival here in New York last night. Will Gantz was on the red carpet, and Will, this documentary is a captivating look at an amazing career.
Electrifying indeed, yes. Barbara Walters shaped and shifted the cultural conversation with any number of her well-placed questions. What keeps you up at night? Are you a diva? How do you hope to be remembered? And last night, we asked a few questions of our own to those who knew her best.
She was fearless, and sometimes she got under people's skin.
Her interviews, historic.
I'm just a normal kid.
Oh, Eric, you're a normal kid who killed your parents.
Her questions, important.
Are you sorry you didn't burn the tapes? Did you ever order anyone killed?
And her brand new documentary, absolutely electric.
Okay, let's go.
But what was Barbara Walters really like behind the scenes? We asked those who knew her best at last night's world premiere of Barbara Walters' Tell Me Everything at the Tribeca Film Festival.
When I sat on the set with Barbara for the first time,
Yeah.
I had my notes and I was sitting there so nervously waiting to talk to her. She took my notes and said, "You don't need those," and she
Yeah.
threw them away.
Yeah.
And she said, "Just talk to me." I was like,
It really is the essence of the incredible journalist Barbara was and what she did for women across our industry.
She set the tone for a great interviewer. I mean, she was a good reporter too, but I think it was her interviews that really broke through.
The one word I would use to describe Barbara, singular. She was singular in her drive, her ambition, her talent, and her success.
Fierce.
Masterful.
The GOAT.
Barbara truly took me under her wing, and with Barbara's kind of like advice and protection, I was able to learn in the industry.
She did it like nobody else. It was about her sort of being patient and giving time to that person and allowing them to feel safe with her to tell their truth. And in that, she told great stories, and we got to meet celebrities and newsmakers in a totally different way.
She was a fighter. She was a fighter for women. She was a fighter for journalism. And she was an excellent and brilliant broadcaster.
A panel after the premiere celebrating the pioneer who shattered so many glass ceilings.
We all owe her on this stage, everybody. Without her, there wouldn't be us.
The documentary also features amazing interviews with folks like Bette Midler, Oprah Winfrey, and Andy Cohen. And I was delighted by how much we hear from Barbara herself within the doc. Barbara Walters' Tell Me Everything premieres on Hulu Monday, June 23rd. Can't wait for everyone to see it.
What a trailblazer she was, and such an incredibly hard worker, made a difference in so many people's lives.
That's right, yeah.
Thanks for coming in, Will.
We'll be right back.
I know.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. You know what? We are saying farewell to this studio this morning, but there's also a very special person we're saying goodbye to as well. Our guy, Gary Minor. Yeah!
Thank you.
Gary Gary's behind the scenes, but he is such an integral part of this show. He's been the head stagehand and prop master for 37 years. And now
he was 6 when he started.
Yeah, unfortunately, George is being very nice. Unfortunately for us, but very fortunate for you, you're retiring now, and we can't be happier for you, Gary. So here's a look at why we're gonna miss you, my friend, like crazy. Check it out. Gary's last name is Minor, but he's somewhat major. This is not life-size, people at home. I want you to realize that. It's larger than life-size. To all of you at home, he's the guy I love to mess with.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of Gary jokes in this segment.
I can't help myself. If there's a short joke, I got to tell it about Gary. He's my guy. You said he's a big role model to you. He's a little role model to me. He messes with me too. And Gary told me he steered this with his finger.
It feels like there's 100 Michael Strahans in there, just little tiny ones, salting my toes.
Gary, you better stop. But to us here at GMA, he's the heart of the studio. I love Gary. He's been one of my best friends here. He has been like my Danny DeVito. Come on, man. I love you.
Aww.
There you go, buddy.
I can't imagine walking in the studio and not seeing Gary.
Well, I'm going to really miss having someone my size on the set. Gary's the best.
A true jack of all trades. Roller skate spotter, makeup artist, break taker, prop master.
Gary, that was so much better than we rehearsed.
He is the most generous, loving, funny guy, and he's just like the right amount of rascal as well.
Gary is my work husband. When I walk into this studio, I know that everything's gonna be okay because Gary's ensured that.
He is not only kind and such a teddy bear of a person, but he's super skilled.
Since 1988, Gary Minor has always been there when we call.
We need Gary and the props team for this one.
Come on out, Gary.
Hello, Gary.
He is the team leader. He is our friend. He's brilliant at what he does.
I haven't even allowed myself to think about what GMA is like without Gary.
I'll miss you and be thinking of you at 5 a.m. every day.
Gary, I'm gonna love you, I'm gonna miss you. I'm going to cherish this pillow, and whenever I miss you, I'm gonna give you a kiss, my friend. Well, you better invite me on the boat. Yeah. Well, obviously, we're not the only ones who wanted to say goodbye to Gary. The rest of your crew is out here as well, man. The rest of the crew is here. And we got some retirement gifts for you, Gary. Hey, first up, we got you a beach chair, so you can sit on the beach and kick back and relax and think about us here. But we also got you a nice fishing pole. We went in deep on this one. So you can put that on your boat, you can go out, you can enjoy the fishing, which you love to do, and we know you love that. And Tori did something special. She put together this beautiful book for you. This has messages from the staff. And it is definitely a special gift to you, man.
Thank you.
And I have one more. I have a ladder for you. So I'll bring this in. That way you can reach these things, some things when I'm not around.
You normally pick me up, don't you?
So that's for you, Gary. And you know, we're really gonna miss you. Yeah, we really are. And
I'm really gonna miss you.
You couldn't resist that one, Michael.
I could. I'll be there. Just call me. I'll come over. Forget the ladder. Okay. You ready to leave all of this behind and us behind, man?
Yes. I really am.
I appreciate the honesty.
You're going to be thinking of you at 5 a.m. What are you going to be doing at 5 a.m.?
Sleeping. It'll be
Because your day
hard
didn't
to
start
do.
at 5, you're in even earlier.
I wake up at 1 in the morning.
1 in the morning, so this is well deserved.
37
to
years,
make
man.
Michael look good.
Takes a long time. Takes a long time.
You did a great job. Well, you know, we have one more surprise for you. Your family's here. Yeah, so you know what? We're good. Let's bring your families here.
Hey guys. Hello everybody. Come on down. Hey Russ.
I'm just waiting for the tears. You can let them go. No.
I'm not. You're losing today.
We had a beg. Gary's gonna cry. We're gonna get him after the show. But we got one more thing for you. bring out the cake. No party is complete without a cake. Our guy Duff Goldman and Charm City Cakes sent over this cake for you, Gary.
That's huge.
That cake is from Duff, Charm City. Duff has a new show called Super Mega Cakes, where he's going up against 6 teams of the country's best cake artists over the course of 4 days, all at once. It premieres Monday on Food Network, so he went out of his way to make this cake for you. He even made you fishing life-size. That is fantastic. So I'm just curious, what are you looking most forward to in retirement? Seriously.
Trying new things.
Yeah.
I want to try new things, you know.
Anything you're going to share with us?
Sailing or something like that. Maybe, my parents, my father and grandfather were volunteer firemen. I think I want to try that.
Oh, that's amazing. Will you keep us posted on that?
Sure. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what? We love you.
Thank you. I love all you guys. Thank you.
And we're very, in all seriousness, we're very grateful for you, Gary. And as just said in the piece, like Robert said, when you walk in, it's hard to imagine not seeing you here in the studio.
It's going to be very hard.
But we'll get used to it. Okay. I love you,
Get
buddy.
that last one in.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your retirement. You have more than earned it. Give it up for Gary Madden!
So I didn't want to leave without getting you guys all something. So enjoy.